So, I got a final design right before the camera died figured out for what we're going to do in here, or for the overhang. But I got to get this all cleared up so I can sit down and weld it up and get it square and straight and get all my corner pieces welded. Unfortunately, this has got to be kind of a crazy mess at this point. So we're going to clean this up and make some sanity back in my life and get going on that. And once we have one side done and right, as far as right is looks right and seems to be right, we can do the other side and we can do all the supports, everything we need to tie it in, and then this is going to take off fast. I hope, anyhow. Actually, it's 2 days ago. I did some reinforcement on the base layer, fit this up in there and did some tack welds. Now I need to come up here and do the tie-in welds, and I actually set this back about a tenth to a quarter of an inch from the front of the support plate, and I'm going to run a weld whenever I'm ready all the way up this thing here, and I'm thinking that will be enough with the welds tied in here and various other places to give it the lateral support I need. But the 5-foot ends right here, so I'll tie it into about here. We'll see about cutting this off when we're all done. Now give me a nice strong connection. I also need to come in here and kind of cut a little bit off on this and run a screw, some stuff there. We'll see. But I need to run some welds today, and then I'm going to strengthen up the front part here on this side, and then probably run a bead line here and here to give it the strength I need just to hold it. Then we're going to match the other side up to this one and weld that one up so we have two perfectly normal sides that match each other. And then we can start running the lateral supports going across and start tying into the frame and start, well, I'll probably add supports in this one too. And that sure does look off. I think this has a little bit of twist in it. Maybe. I might need to re-tack those up there because it's a weird angle. Hi everyone. I have been doing off-camera work here, mainly just to get it done. Sometimes it's faster and to have it done off-camera. Welds keep looking better and better, I think. They look pretty strong and test pretty strong. Anyhow. Thanks. I am looking at windows, and I have a hard time visualizing sometimes, so when I have a hard time visualizing, I find cardboard, which when you're building something you have plenty, or something equivalent, cardstock, anything like that. But basically I need to visualize, and I need to put windows in here, and I need to know where the window is going to be if I put it in here. And I figured rough opening. I think I'm going to go with the 20 by 20. And I think I'm going to put it farther out. This is kind of a square representation of it. A lot of building supplies are getting harder and harder to find for a reasonable price. They got scratch and dent 20 by 20 awning windows with a little crank on it, which is what I want because I want the screen on the inside so it'll be more protected. So I'm thinking if I go here with it, it'll give me one side without a vent in the front. I'll have the vent so it'll pull in the most air up here. So it'll probably be tied in right there, and if I don't want to sleep in front of a window, I can and I don't have to. I can do either way. So I might get one of them. So there's two of them. And I can add the supports in after that. This support will be here, so it'll be closer to here, which will be fine. Give me a little pop out and I can get air in. That, or I can do a slider, but I don't have any sliders that I want, and I really need to start ordering this relatively sooner than where I'm at. So this gives me the most support. I'd like to do portholes, but portholes are $300 a window, and get scratch and dent these tempered glass awning windows for about $69 each plus $30 shipping, so about $100 each. And right now, money's starting to run a little thin on this. At this point, most of my build out's going to be in the structure or frame of everything in here, more so than anything. So I'm probably going to end up just buying me 4 or 6 of these windows like this, and by the time I get them in there, they'll all open, which is a big downfall on the bus I had that I couldn't open them on. Oh gosh! I forgot that was still undone. Almost fell in. Do the same thing my sister did the other day. I could put 2 here. Yeah, that wouldn't be bad. 2 on this side, 2 up there. That's 4, 1 there. Maybe 2 there. That would be 6. And I could do 1 or 2 here. So I could do 8 of them. And they'd all be awning windows that would open out. So some of them would have to be closed when I go down the road. Some could be open, but they all could be open whenever it's raining outside. So I'll think about that, because that gets me all my windows that I want, because I still want to be able to see outside, but I don't want as big of windows as I had in the bus. Just desire of not having a ton of windows. I didn't have enough wall space. I'm hoping to have a place to look out and something. Supposedly they sell it. The tiny house market seems to be blowing up everywhere. I really like those welds. Those look good. Those welds look good. Anyhow, as far as this going, this is the right side. The other side's all done. I got to come in here and put supports in here, 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 up here, and maybe down here. I don't know if I'm going to do it down here for right now. But I was also going to put a double T-joint here. Then I'm going to run verticals down here. I got 1, 2, 4 of them there. This one's going to go all the way up. This one's going to go all the way up. And this one's going to be where the window's going to be. And then this one's going to go all the way up. And that should be it. There'll probably be one going across the bottom for the window here, and probably something square up top because that top piece is not square. So I might bring it down here, something like that. Square that out, and then that should be it for my frame, and I can start putting it in, putting the sheet on, all that fun stuff. So we got it up there as a test fit. I'm actually cutting the middle pieces right there, and we're having a discussion about where we reference stuff. So on here we're dropping a subject in the middle of nowhere, and we got to get them torsion right. What is it? The Y or whatever. This right. They got to be square and parallel to the rest of the rig and support the weight. And how I am doing it is I'm referencing certain places. So this wall right here, because it's still attached to the frame so well, I believe this wall to be flat, square, and straight. Whether it is or not, I don't know, but I don't think there's any torsion between this and the other side. So I'm basing most of my measurements, those kitty cats, and let's see, where does it go? Okay, so I'm not on a level surface, so you definitely can't use a level surface. But between a square and some measuring tape, I can do it. So, pretty sure this is square. This is welded to the other piece that is square. And you can kind of go in there. Right now, it's not 100% square. There's maybe a half a degree off right there. And it's leaning out that way. We'll fix that here in a second. This one here, this one was also not square originally. But now it's almost perfectly square if you believe this is square. That's all. And I have it hooked up with this, and this running that in and out will make it either or. Then I'm running a square from this wall down here to this thing right here. And that's where I'm getting my other square. The only thing I cannot check with this is if two items are parallel and one's out farther, I can't do that. So I have to choose another spot. Oh gosh. And I can do this with a measuring tape. I'm going to believe that this is fair on each side. It's as close as it's going to be. It's accurate, pretty accurate. And by measuring from basically a spot here, and I know this weld line right here is the same on both sides, so I measure out to the weld line, probably right up here. I get my measurements for out, and as long as both sides are even and accurate, it should be square that way. And yeah, this one's off an actual 1/8 of an inch right now. I plan on fixing that and re-squaring it. And then whenever I put these together, if these are square with this and this is square with over there, it's square with each other. And that's going to be all my measurements for keeping square. Also, these are all going to be cut the same length with no spacing whatsoever, so they'll be the same length with each other, so you know each piece is parallel also. So that's what we're working on now. And as soon as I get it square and parallel, I'm going to drop a couple drill holes in this side and that side and screw them. And I also might even tack these pieces up there, so whenever I pull it down and work on it, I have these already held in place. I might tack them up there and weld a couple. We'll decide here in a second. But right now the only thing holding them up is a couple vice clamps, and yeah, we'll go from there. That's where we're at now. When the windows get here, we'll finalize the side welding. We'll go ahead and cut the sheet for it, and then we'll put the windows in there, do all the test bit, pull the sheets off, and put the bottom sheet on it with the supports, and we'll be almost done with this. Alright, now that you know.